Here we've got a transformation. We're starting off with our original graph, and this is our transformation here. Now the tendency is to look at this and say, oh, this negative does something, and this plus 3 does something, and this plus 1 is with the x, so it must be a transformation in the x. Let's just get a little bit of space here and find out what's really going on. First of all, our original function looks like this: y equals minus f of x plus 3 plus 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the shape of things so it's more obvious which transformations are taking place where. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. I get y minus 1 equals negative f of x plus 3. And so now all of a sudden it's clear to us that this plus 1 over here is really a transformation in y. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. I'm going to do this very carefully. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the negative out here. I'm multiplying this entire left-hand side by negative 1. I'm multiplying the right-hand side by negative 1. The negative times the negative will cancel out, and I'm going to get f of x plus 3. And now I can see the transformations that I believe have taken place. Let's start off over here, the easy one. I've replaced x with x plus 3. And that's a horizontal translation. Plus 3 means it's left 3. I'm going to go over here. First one I see is this one over here, and y has been replaced with y minus 1, and as we recall, that's a vertical translation, in this case up 1. And this one over here is perhaps the most interesting one, and the reason I put it outside of these brackets here is, I'll show you in a second, but this is a transformation that takes y to minus y, and that's reflection about what's happening to me? Oh my goodness. It's a reflection about the x-axis. Sorry about that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start off with a function. Y equals f of x. And I'm going to perform these translations, compressions, expansions, and whatnot in the right order and see if I end up with my original function. If I do, then I got the right transformation. The first one I'm going to do is my reflection. The second one I'm going to do is my vertical translation. And the third one I'm going to do is my horizontal translation. And you recall we want to do our reflections, compressions, and expansions first, and our translations second. So number 1, I'm replacing y with negative y. I get negative y equals f of x, and that's my reflection about the x-axis. The second one, I'm taking that negative y, and there's my space for y, which equals f of x, and I'm replacing y with y minus 1. And you can see that by putting it in the brackets here, I've ended up with what I had over here, which is what I'm looking for. And on my third transformation, I've got negative y minus 1 equals f of, and that's my input x, and I'm replacing x with, in this case, x plus 3, which is left 3. Now what I can do is I can re-transform this back into my original. Multiply both by negative 1, I get y minus 1 equals negative f of x plus 3, and I add 1 to both sides. Y equals negative, negative f Not good. Okay, negative f of x plus 3 plus 1 is my original. So now I know the transformations. I can go back and see what kind of effect those transformations would have. Number one, you recall, was my reflection about x. That means that this point move down around x and come down here. This point is going to go right there, connect the two. This point reflecting about x goes to negative 2, and I go straight across like that. That's my first transformation. My second transformation, as you recall, was up 1. And we can see that if I move this up 1, let me do it over on this graph over here. Let me try and see if I can squeeze it in here. At that point, I'm going to move a bunch of discrete points up, and then I'm going to connect them, like so. And my third transformation was left 3. And when I do that, I'm going to move over there, and that point is going to move over 3. This point is going to move over 3. At this point it becomes very confusing, but it's in there somewhere, you can see that. And my goal here is to choose between B, C, D, or in this case it was like A is my correct answer. And that's about it.